We'll call the town board meeting for July 1st to order at 7 o'clock. First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Patrick informs me we were adding one item.
Yep, Mr. Chair, we will be adding 9A, a second amendment for 2019 to the JPA to protect and manage the Vadnais Lake area watershed.
And obviously, we just have some supplement information on 8F.
8F, correct.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, Steve, you signed off on bills?
Yeah, move to approve payment of the bills.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. Item number 4 is approval of the June 27th minutes.
17th, Mr. Chair.
17th, right.
So moved.
Second.
No corrections? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You didn't get me an answer, did you? Didn't want me to answer.
Then we
Aye.
need a motion for the June 20th.
Move to approve.
Which I did not attend.
Oh,
Nor did I.
okay.
So I don't
I'll
think I can
move you
second
second.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Go to Scott would abstain. All right, moving on. Item number 5, we've got a list of consent agenda items.
All right, item 5A, special town board meeting. Call a special town board meeting for Wednesday, July 31st, 2019 at 6 PM to attend the White Bear Lake Area Schools and Municipalities Summer Connection at the Vadnais Heights Commons. Item 5B, Planning Commission, appoint Howard Blinn to fill an unexpired term through April 30th, 2020. Item 5C, League of Minnesota Cities Liability Coverage, approve a waiver of the liability from. Item 5D, side yard setback variance request at 3940 Lakewood Avenue. Call a public hearing for Monday, August 5th, 2019 at 7 PM to consider a side yard setback variance request. Item 5E, right-of-way variance request at 5216 Park Avenue. Call a public hearing for Monday, August 5th, 2019 at 7 PM to consider a right-of-way variance request. Item 5F, Park Board Recommendations 1, Polar Lakes Park. Approve Laux
Correct.
agreement to draft a conceptual site layout focusing on restroom locations and design services proposal, including the playground, in an amount not to exceed $9,300. 2, Chair and Vice Chair, confirm Scott Lombardi as the Park Board Chair and Selena Coster as the Vice Chair for 2019-2020. 3, Bel Air Beach, approve obtaining a master plan to improve Bel Air Beach Park. Item 5G, right-of-way permit, based on town engineer review and recommendation and including his recommended conditions, approve the CenturyLink permit to replace a buried cable to serve 5918 Polar Bear Lane, which will be performed through boring and open trenching. And item 5H, first quarter financial report, receive.
All right, motions on the consent, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. Item number 6, old business, we have a solicitor's license request. That's Top Line Construction. Patrick, you gonna take care of that one?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, they have met all our requirements for requesting a solicitor's license. We are merely looking for the board's approval at this time.
Any questions of Patrick? I just have one, noting in criminal background checks. I mean, the town residents expect whoever we allow to come into the town to be banging on our doors, that they've been properly vetted, and we expect that the owners of these companies also do that. So I would be willing to accept a motion to approve under the conditions that Top Line has vetted both of their applicants to make sure they're legal residents. You have any problem with that?
No.
All right, hearing that, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Noting with that one requirement. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? All right, that motion carries. Item number 7 is a public hearing. We do not have one, so we'll move on to new business. 8A, Administrative and Public Works Landscaping Renovations.
That's me, start of it. We taken, back in May, the board had approved the RFP to send out to, a request for our proposals to send out, and that was approved, and we sent it out, and then received sealed proposals, gotta use my terminology, at 10 a.m. on June 13th, we received 3 proposals. Let me back up. Just kind of briefly describe the scope of the work. The scope of the work involves tree and shrub removal, retaining wall removal, regrading, and replanting. So back to the proposals, we did receive 3 from the following landscape contractors: Birch for $50,015, Landscape Sculpture Garden LLC for $56,265, and Prescription Landscape for $53,625.42. After the review of the proposals by staff, we recommend the proposal from Birch. All the proposals were in the packet. They provided a very detailed design and concept, and it was very thorough, and it happened to be the low proposal. So we are recommending that the town board approve the project. The first, it would be funded by the Capital Building Fund, which has $185,000 for the interior and exterior improvements in 2019, including $50,000 for rebuilding the retaining walls, which we're removing in this project. So we won't have future maintenance on a retaining wall due to degradation.
Actually, the whole project was about 40 grand less than what we had anticipated out of the CIP.
Who anticipated?
Us.
Was that the town engineer's amount, or?
That's what we had set aside in our capital improvement fund,
Okay.
so.
Do you anticipate this happening at the same time as the interior renovations, or?
I think this
after
one
the
will get
other?
started first,
Okay.
yeah, so.
It wouldn't interact or interfere with any work that you're doing inside,
No.
taking stuff out and?
No. We actually found a solution to the interior that we thought was going to be an issue with the outside, putting some of our stuff on the outside. They told us they've got a different way of doing it now, that they don't have to go outside with anything,
Okay.
so.
And a lot of this, well, this is the first time this has been renovated since the building was
Yeah,
built in
96.
96. And most of what looks like they're putting in is low maintenance,
Very.
so it's not going to increase your time much.
Nope.
No, I think it looks like a good plan.
There was some talk of saving all that rock. Is that still on the table, or?
Suppose we could repurpose it.
Yeah, we could use it.
Well,
We-
put it this way, Dale, do we have any use for it? I mean, it's a sin to throw it
Well,
away.
it is, but it's just a storage factor for us. You know, we don't use much because St. Paul does our water main repairs. Normally, that rock would be great for the bottom of the repair,
Okay.
you know, when you got a lot of water in the trench and stuff, but we just don't, we use St. Paul to do our repairs.
Maybe we should ask Larry Poplar if he can use it for the pavement management.
I missed that.
Maybe we should ask
Well, I was-
Larry to
you know,
use
I
it
mean,
for
it-
the pavement management plan.
It's a fairly good-sized stone for riprap or whatever, but it just seems like a sin to throw it in a dumpster, but I don't know, something that I would think to keep in mind.
Could use it around maybe one of the parks somewhere, might be good.
Is there,
Some of it's smaller though.
in this land, is there sprinkling irrigation systems in amongst this?
Yes,
that
there
have to
is,
be-
and they-
Be removed and moved back in, or
It'll be adjusted.
just adjusted?
Yeah, there'll be some modifications to the existing irrigation.
Around that flag area?
Yeah, down by the, where the parking is.
Where the
Right
3
along
flagpoles sit.
Yeah.
Yep, there'll be, they know, they're aware they have some irrigation modifications to include with their work, based on our design.
I'm sorry, I interrupted Dale, and boy, we just threw him off, sorry.
So, after reviewing this, we just recommend the town board to accept the proposals and approve the lowest proposal from Birch for $50,000. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Do you know if, with the proposed plantings, there was any thought given to, like, low water usage? Or did they just suggest the plans with no input from us on that?
That I really don't have the answer for.
Okay, I was just curious.
Don't have the answer for that one either.
Are we installing rain barrels?
That was not submitted to us as part of the plan, Ed.
I bet you we could get like a Velomor pitch on that one.
Oh, there you go, there you go.
Good idea.
So, one correction to my memo. So I had mentioned that their proposal was for 50,015, but they had an alternative to include brick, the curbing. It's install gray bullet edgers in place of vinyl edging, for the landscape beds. And that was gonna be an additional $22,450. My recommendation would be is we add the 2,450 to the 50,015 for a total of 52,465.
Still the
So-
lowest.
So the proposal from Birch would be for 52,465 is what I'd ask the board to approve.
Which keeps them still lower than the other two bidders?
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. I meant to say that. So,
All right, any other questions of Dale?
Sorry, one more question. The,
Don't be sorry.
the sidewalk and the steps up into the building, is that going to be reworked as part of this project or separate?
well, the sidewalk and steps were redone last year, so we're gonna keep them as, you mean the areas around them or the actual?
Well, leading into the building, I just thought I remembered seeing some cracks.
Well, they were, but they had replaced that last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was busted, you were correct. The ramp up was corners missing
Okay.
and there was a, yep,
Right in front of the door, there was a monster crack.
yeah.
All right, anything else? All right, so Dale, you want two motions here, one to receive and one to award?
Correct.
I'll move to receive all proposals.
I'll second that.
Motion's made and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries.
The second part, award the proposal for the administrative and public works landscaping renovation to the lowest responsible company, Birch, in the amount of $52,465 with funding from the capital building fund, and that number is different than the original request of $50,000 to add the additional $2,400 something dollars,
$450.
$450.
Yes, thank you.
I'll second that.
All right, motion's made and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
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 That motion carries. All right, moving on, item B, 2019 seal coat and bituminous surfaces.
Yeah, Suco and the two surfaces is also mine. I have not done any, originally it was a trail seal coat project when I did it in 2012, the last time we had done it. And we typically do seal coat and sand application on these trails every 5 to 8 years. And we're at that time here, so the trails can be an application this year. Along with that, I've included the scope, I've extended the scope of the project to include lift station driveways and well house driveways. We haven't had a really good program, and a lot of the timing is perfect. The driveways that are at bituminous are in need of a sealant. This year's project includes 24 different bituminous surfaces within the township, trails and driveways. The schedule for the project will be approval of the plan specs and authorized bidding hopefully tonight, and then we'll have bids due August 1st with the approval of the low bid on August 5th. And the work will be completed by October 1st. I have it in the specifications. So it's trying to keep it moving along here. And, so my request for the town board is to approve the specifications and authorized bidding for the 2019 seal coating of the various bituminous surfaces within the town.
All right, questions, comments?
The only question, you said by the end of October, or by October they'll be done?
Yeah, by October 1st.
Just, when you make a mental note, though, that the area around the school, I think they're doing Otter Lake Road north of Jonquil, which is a school path.
Yep.
Can they be one of the early ones
yeah.
that they do, so that's not going to interfere with
Yep.
students?
Anytime I can coordinate avoiding school traffic, yeah, I'll do that. And maybe it'll be where they do it on the weekend to accommodate that, so, yep.
Anything, Scott?
Nope.
Just one thing, Dale. When we were on that park board tour, this includes Summit Lane, correct?
Correct.
Wasn't there some discussion of re-draining or doing some grading work or something on that? I know we had talked
I think
about,
on the end, it was to stabilize the asphalt on the end where the dock connects. That was some of the discussion plan that Tom has for that stabilization of that shoreline.
Yep.
Now that the water's up.
so there's nothing about putting either drain tile in or a catch basin or something up near the top? I thought,
Well, I know with the South Shore project,
well, I'm just getting at
Yeah.
it, are we seal coating this and gonna tear it up or something? That's what I'm getting at.
well, I'm not sure when the South Shore project's gonna move forward, and, you know, I just want to preserve what it's there in case it doesn't too. So it's a relatively inexpensive preventative maintenance measure
Okay.
that I'd recommend we go forth, not knowing, we don't have any certainty with South Shore yet.
All right. Like I said, I hate to see you do it and then have them come right behind us
Right.
and tear it up.
No, I would agree, but if I had more of a firm, when that's moved from, then I can delay it. If the board would prefer, I can take it.
Well,
out
it
of the
might be
scope.
just worth a call to see how they're, I know it's been pushed back a couple times here, and I'm still not sure when they're,
So, okay, so, yeah, I'll check with them if you're comfortable with this. If it's gonna be next year, I'll say, okay, I'll just take that out of the,
okay.
you know, I can change the contract 25% either way, more or less. We have that within the specs, so,
All right, sounds good.
the scope of the contract, so.
All right, no other questions? I'll be looking for two different separate motions, approve the specs and then authorize advertising.
Based on staff review and recommendation, I'll move to approve the specifications.
Second,
I'll second that.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. And the second one,
Based on staff review and recommendation, authorize advertisement for bids, noting a bid due date of August 1st, 2019, with town board approval on August 5th, 2019.
have a second?
Second?
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. All right, item 8C, the radio replacements.
Yes. Again, my item, we've, our current 800 megahertz radios we've had for roughly 5 years. We got the original radios with a grant through Ramsey County Emergency Management, I believe, and that's how we acquired them. And at this point, the radios are in need of an upgrade due to the fact that we lost some support for the current radio models that we have from Motorola. So staff is recommending we go forth with a replacement. We have it in the CIP. The radios are used daily for communications between staff. They've been a very important part of our operations for communications between staff, you know, from water main breaks to jetting to snow removal, any kind of emergency, and I myself can attest to it's nice having that ability. And there is also the ability to communicate statewide, regionally, you know, locally, regionally, and statewide on an emergency, because you can just switch the channels with other governmental agencies to coordinate a larger scope to emergency effort. So if there ever was to be a situation like that, we could do that. Funding for the 800 megahertz radios would come out of the capital equipment fund, which has $18,710 budgeted. Quotes are received from 3 vendors, ANCOM, Motorola Solutions, and R&D Communications. ANCOM was $18,380.65. They are the state contract vendor for this type of radio, so they're low. Motorola Solutions is another vendor, but not a state contract, for the $21,963.63. And then R&D Communications Incorporated for $22,399. Town board action is to receive the quotes and approve the quote from ANCOM for $18,380.65.
I'm kind of confused. On page 132, the purchase order for $18,380, the purchase order is to be made out to Motorola Solutions. It doesn't say anywhere on here ANCOM other than the email address of ancom.org.
Yeah, I do see where that,
And then if you skip forward 2 pages, to the bid from Motorola Solutions, the email address is once again ancom.org. So I'm kind of confused as to,
Let me,
They might
Can we-
they might just be doing some broker work on behalf of Motorola.
I'm guessing they're an approved vendor for the state contract through Motorola, a local vendor, ANCOM. But I can verify that if that would make the board more comfortable. I'm sorry, I didn't
I
catch
think you
that.
can verify it, but either way, they're still the lowest of, whether it's, I mean, I agree, he needs to clear it up, but Motorola is second, so.
okay, but
No, I think you're correct for pointing it out, we should know, but the other bid is
Yeah.
higher than both of those other two, so if he can move forward.
okay.
But, good point.
You're right, it does seem a little confusing.
odd.
Well, if you go back to, I mean, one more.
Dale, the old ones, the ones you currently have,
Yep.
what happens to them?
Motorola Solutions.
They'll use them for seasonals. They just won't be supported anymore. They're not like they're throwaway, but they can't be.
They have some limited use?
Yes, they have some limited use.
Because every year for Township Days, we always say we need radios because we can't tell what's going on. If they're limited use, they might serve that purpose to have around
Yeah.
for
So
such
they're no
events
longer
as that.
obsolete, is what you're saying.
Well,
not supported.
they can't be upgraded, or, can't get to the current upgrades to maintain their efficiency and communications, but that doesn't mean, I don't know which point they wouldn't be anymore, where it wouldn't be helpful, but I'm sure they're gonna be good.
At least this
They
year.
just won't get, they can't get repaired, this is the word out,
Good
But-
idea.
Or can
Certainly
they
can
be
use them.
used by summertime help?
And we do, that's the plan, yep.
Well, so these 8 new ones are for you and the rest of the public works staff, right?
Correct.
We don't get one?
You get one of the obsolete, or the ones that don't get upgraded?
The one for does the building inspector have the same? Would he
Yes.
get a new one also? Is that included in that number, or is that not included in that number?
I don't know. I might be an out of it. He might get one, but I won't. So, I didn't ask Paul. Paul put this together, and I'm sorry, I have to, he's not here, and there were some questions I had for him, but he's off vacation. So,
Well, that number 8 is just public works and you, though, I think, right?
yes.
Right, it's something we maybe want to verify. Now, is that something you want to, if we have to add one, do you want to come back with this, or?
Yeah, you know what? I think at
2
this
weeks?
point, we're not under any urgency. I guess I can come back with more clarification to
Well,
Scott's
especially with the
question.
point that Scott brought
I
up.
think that's an
It's kind of an
excellent point.
interesting
Good point. Thank you. I just I don't have the answer, unfortunately, for you here. I can get it for you next meeting.
So what do we do?
All right,
Continue?
I think we should move to continue this till July 15th?
Yeah, I'll move to continue this till the July 15th meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion's made, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Continuing on. All right, item 8D, the gate valve repairs.
I think I got this one. Got all the information.
Scott's going to catch you.
Giving him a complex.
Anyways, so we have a couple gate valve, water main gate valves that are in need of repair. One we're unable to operate, that's the one on Centerville Road. Can't key it with a key to shut the water off to isolate the big main on Centerville. We have there's valves that are used to control sections of pipe, so we don't have an issue. We don't have to impact more property owners than necessary by not having valves that operate to keep the area to a minimal impact. So the one is on, as I mentioned, on Centerville Road, 5692. That is the one we can operate. The other one is on Hennessy Vista and Otter Lake Road. That's leaking. We'll need to. I'm sure it's the bolts are corroded, and when they went to close it, it pulled up on it. So it's a seal, so you can't. We've had several valves in the time I've been here that are like repairs. And normally we'd have St. Paul do these repairs, but they are so busy. We've requested quotes from 3 different vendors for this repair work. And they happen to be, and Miller Excavating for $10,262.32. Olson Sewer Service for $10,995. And then Valley Rich Company Incorporated for $12,650. The repair work will be funded by the Water Operating Fund, or budget fund. So my recommendation of the board, as the town board, is to accept the quotes and approve the quote from Miller Excavating for $10,262.32.
Any questions, comments? Have we used Miller before?
You know, I can't say that,
Doesn't sound
I
familiar.
don't remember, but I know they're a reputable company. They've done work for other communities,
Okay.
but I can't say they've done work for us.
And then just in the scope of work, is the valve actually specified for model, number, everything? So
Well,
they're all
the-
bidding the same gate valve?
Yeah, one is just the cover that goes over the valve, to get, so they can operate the nut. And the other one is, it'll probably just the bolts. It won't be a valve replacement,
Oh, okay.
so.
All right, hearing no other comments or questions? Do I have two motions here, receive the quotes and approve?
I'll move to receive the quotes.
I'll second that.
Motion made and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I'll make a second motion to approve the quote for the 2019 gate valve repair work to the lowest responsible company, Miller Excavating, Inc., in the amount of $10,262.32, with funding from the Water Operating Budget Fund.
I'll second.
Motion's made and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. All right, moving on, 8E, Windstream North Star.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this is the last lease that we were required to extend in order to get a valid bid on taking over those leases from.
Okay, you gotta explain what the leases are for.
I'm sorry, for cell tower use.
There you go.
And we were requested to get these leases extended in order to get a bid or an offer on those leases in the next week or so. The other two that we had automatic triggers to them that renewed January 2019 for 5 years. We needed to get this one in place so we could start negotiating what their offer could be.
Was there any interest in them seeing or helping with the lease agreement to conform more to their expectations, or
He
they're
didn't
not
allude,
interested?
not interested.
Okay,
All the work is on the front end for him at that point,
yeah.
so. So I guess we're looking for an approval for these leases to be extended, that they were more than likely gonna be extended anyway.
You know, this is on the location on Hoffman Road, next to where the old town hall used to sit,
Yeah.
so everybody
Yep.
aware of that?
Yep.
Okay. And then, which that property we still own.
I'll get an outline of what, how the whole process will work, probably by the 15th, to share with the board before we commit to anything.
All right, any questions, comments? Well, we'll see, this should be interesting.
Yep.
All right, so you need a motion to approve the.
Extension of the lease.
Extension. I'll move based on the town attorney and staff review and recommendation, approve the first amendment to site use agreement between White Bear Township and Windstream North Star LLC for the premises at 4151 Old Hoffman Road, beginning November 1st, 2019 through October 31st, 2024.
And Mr. Chair, before you vote on that, just for the board's own comfort level, these leases exist just like they have before. They are 5-year extensions, however, either party has the option with proper notice to get out of or terminate the lease. So you're not getting into anything that you haven't been in before, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So,
All right,
thank
I have a
you.
motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All right, motion's made and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, moving on, item 8F, the International Union of Operating Engineer Local 49.
Mr. Chair, this was requested by our public works staff, who are members of the IUOE, to participate in their central pension fund. It is nothing that, beyond it flowing through our accounts, that the township has any, what's the word I'm looking for, commitment financially beyond staff management and helping out our Public Works Department do this. This is a pension fund strictly for 49er members. We did it, you should have a list of other municipalities that have gotten into this. I know in Kennebec, we were in it for a couple years and operated with issue-free, I should say.
All right, any questions, comments?
No, I think it's an
Good deal
excellent
for those guys, I think.
penny
It
for
is.
them.
Yep. All right, looking for a motion to approve.
I will move based, to allow the employees of White Bear Township who are represented by the International Union of Operating Engineers Local 49 to participate in the Central Pension Fund, noting that the contributions are 100% employee funded by payroll deduction and they are not funded at all by the township.
Second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right. 8G, we have the Red Luna Taco Factory.
Yes, Mr. Chair, if pleases the board, Red Luna Taco Factory has applied for a liquor license, wine and strong beer on premise.
That's it?
Yep. They have met all requirements through the application process to proceed to this point for the board's rendering of its decision as to whether or not they want to extend that license.
They're not open yet, are they?
No.
No, not yet.
Is the construction done?
Not all the, they can operate, but I think they still have some construction to
I'm
do.
just curious that they're waiting till now to apply when,
I think
I
there was
thought
an article in the paper saying that they were shooting for mid-July.
all right, any questions?
Well, the only question I have is that our building inspector thinks that it should be tabled until they deal with charges, but I don't know what that effect has if they meet the requirements.
I guess I would ask Mr. Attorney to talk with us about that, so the SAC credit.
I thought Larry Elm had this all resolved.
Yeah. Good point.
Well, the SAC credit is really a completely independent issue from the liquor license, so I can't see tying them together.
But we just dealt with this a couple months ago, and I thought they had pretty much ironed this out between the car wash and the building and the change in use, and so I'm not sure what Mike's looking for here.
I mean, the SAC issue would that impede them from opening?
I don't
would
think so.
That's between the owner of the property and the lessee, I
Yeah,
assume.
they're simply a tenant,
Yeah.
as my understanding. No, it would be a,
Okay, well,
yeah, it'd be a landlord issue.
I'm comfortable moving forward.
Is there
Good point, I
outside,
didn't even think about that, right.
is there supposed to be outside seating for this?
I don't think so.
I believe there was no outside seating.
So there's no issue of someone taking alcohol out of the restaurant to a outside seating area? I don't remember. Is that, I don't know, Chad, you may have to refer to that. Is that something they can do?
Only if that outdoor seating area is part of the area that was the license was being issued for.
Or would they have to have it actually designated as part of the,
Yeah, it's part of the premises, yeah. That's the way I'd look at it.
because I think we have one more restaurant coming up with one of these too, so we should clarify how we want to do that.
I can't say the state statute is really clear on that, but the premises would be, the license is issued for the premises, and if that patio is part of the premises, then they should need to define that patio.
I don't think there is a patio.
Well, the problem is, it seems like they would have to walk across the parking lot to get to any seating.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
I don't know if
casual
that's such a-
service restaurant, no servers, order and sit. is what it says.
Yeah, but they don't say inside or
It
out.
doesn't say inside or out, no, but I don't believe there is outside. I drove by it.
Well, is that something we want to include in a motion, that we verify that that is strictly indoor seating with alcohol not to leave the premises?
Can we do that?
I don't know, can we, Chad?
I see no reason why not, because we, unless you're,
Most bars
if
won't
you're,
let you
if
do it.
there's a,
Well, that's true.
if it's questionable about the plans of where the alcohol's going, yeah, I think you have the right to do that. Right,
I mean,
you have right to condition the license on a clarification of exactly where the alcohol is being served and where the patrons are allowed to go with it.
in the liquor application, it says the premises for which the applicant seeks a license is an establishment having a manager and a room with appropriate tables and chairs for serving guests in which food is served. That's in the application, so I'm,
Well, then I say it's limited, the license limited to the room then.
yeah. I mean, I think if we say that,
And it goes outside the room,
that's on
and they're
page
violating the license.
166.
I don't know, I'm still looking at, what does that say?
Red something LLC, but I don't know. What page are you on?
172. In the application for the alcohol application, it says Red something LLC, and it doesn't look like Luna.
No, that's the trade name is Red Luna Taco Factory. The LLC is Red Cella, or Anella.
What I'm getting at is there, we've got two different, some paperwork here with different application names, that's where I'm going with.
Well, which one are you looking at, Mr.
Well, on
Chair?
172, it says Red
172, right.
whatever LLC.
They don't have that, mine aren't numbered,
So,
so.
so, yeah, there's an LLC.
Right, okay, yeah,
that's-
right, that's right here, the business trade name.
Yep.
Well, business trade name is nothing but an assumed name, it's still, it's not a separate entity.
But does it have to line up with the other application, with it says Red Luna?
Well, the licensee looks to be Red Chica LLC. That's who has the license.
Okay.
The fact that Red Chica LLC is operating under the trade name of Red Luna Taco Factory is all right.
All right. Are any other questions of board? I just have one, Chad. Could you explain to us and the residents, when we issue a liquor license, what's the state regulation on any kind of background checks?
There is no, well, the only disqualification for a liquor license is, one, if you've had a license and you've lost it in the prior 5 years, it's been revoked, you're not allowed another one for that 5-year period.
Okay.
The other one is if there's a question about a person's moral background, then you have the discretion to deny it as well.
It's pretty broad.
It is very, and that's basically what the statute says. It is very
How are
broad.
you supposed to investigate moral background?
Well,
Well-
the owners of this lady that's the owner, she owns currently a restaurant in White Bear called Casa Lapita.
Correct.
They've been in business for a number of
long
years, a
time.
long time. I don't know what more there needs to be done.
Okay, I just want for the record, that even the state doesn't regulate liquor licenses
That's fine.
for anything but just Chad explained.
Well, and the state basically leaves it up to the entity, to the municipality that's issuing the license to make that decision. And they give the municipality great discretion as whether to issue it or not. Though you do have to have a rational basis for denying it.
That's a pretty broad term
I was
there.
just gonna say, that's it.
It is, I agree, I'll grant you it's a broad term, but that's what the statute says.
Well, I'm not going there. You guys want to? All right. Any other questions, comments? All right, then I would be looking for a motion to approve the liquor license for Red Luna Taco Factory.
I'll move to approve the liquor license for Red Luna Taco with that understanding that the premises is an interior, as we discussed on, what does it say? It's just so we know what the premises is. It's defined, excuse me, as interior seating, not a patio.
All right. I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on. Item 9A, the Velamo JPA.
She should complete this.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That's no problem.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, added as an agenda item is the Second Amendment to the JPA to protect Vadnais Lake area watershed. We are asking that the board consider and approve the amendment. We have run this by the township attorney.
And I see no problem with it.
Yeah, we spent a substantial amount of time going over this at our last Velamo meeting, and I believe all the affected communities are on board, so.
Okay.
And because I am one of the board of directors on that, unless there's any other questions or comments, I would move to approve the Second Amendment of 2019 to the Joint Powers Agreement to protect and manage the Vadnais Lake area watershed.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, moving on. We have open time. Sheriffs? Anything? Deb? Come on. Give us an update of the White Bear Press. All right. Hearing none, moving on. Item 11, I need a motion to receive agenda materials and supplements.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item 12, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We are adjourned.